First round eliminations in the big block class. And up first on the Winston lane is going to be John Hutchins, 28-year-old out of Hardin, Kentucky. Inside of a 1970 Buick GS convertible, 455 cubic inches.
Well, Dan, his opponent is Mark Walters out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. He's a police officer by trade. Driving a 1974 Pontiac Trans Am, he had the advantage on the starting line, and he's carrying it all the way down the track. Look at this. Turns on the boards with a 14.06 win to a 14.53.
Well, you know, Mike, this is heads-up quarter-mile racing here at Beach Bend this weekend.
Yes, it is, Dan, and that means there's no advantage on the starting line other than horsepower.
And talking about horsepower, how about Race Let's over here in the Winston lane, that 1970 Buick Skylark GS 455, big advantage here.
It really is, Dan. His opponent is Richard Gray out of New Orleans, Louisiana in the 442, a 1970 model, but it's not enough to take the win.
No, Let's pulls it off, 14-12 on the win. Now that brings up one of the tough ones of the day, Paul Suloff out of Akron, Ohio. Inside that 64 Dodge 330, 652 of these cars made, 426 inches of wedge at 425 horsepower.
Well, Dan, his opponent will be Stephen Ingberg out of Burlington, Iowa in the 1970 Ford Torino Cobra. Look at the advantage that Suloff has on Ingberg already.
Oh, definitely. Even though there's a bit of smoke coming out of the car, looks like he may pick off the win. He does. 1363 now. It's second round eliminations in the big block class coming up, and it's going to be Mark Walters. He's that police officer you told us about earlier. He's in the 74 Pontiac Trans Am, which, by the way, there was only 212 built in 1974 with 4-speeds in them, and he's got one.
He's got one indeed. Jerry Lawson is his opponent over in the other lane, the 67 Plymouth GTX, trying to do it in. But look at there's no contest, Dan.
Well, once a police officer, I guess always a police officer. Always, this time, not in pursuit, but way out ahead for the win. 1390 to 101 miles per hour. So Race Let's now comes up. Race Let's, we saw him earlier. He's the research technical specialist, a high-performance tire company employee. He's in that 70 Buick Skylark GS 455. And by the way, my candidate for paint job of the day.
Very good, Dan. Paul Suloff is in the other lane, the Budweiser side. He's in the 64 Dodge. Now, it is a 426, but it's not a Hemi. It's a wedge. And he goes through for the win, a 13 flat. What a rip, Dan.
You got that right. Well, the action heats up now as we go into the big block final rounds, where it's going to be Mark Walters up against Paul Suloff. Suloff will line up in the Winston lane. Mark Walters, he'll be in the Budweiser lane. Walters, the Fort Wayne, Indiana police officer, sits behind the wheel of the 74 Pontiac Trans Am. Suloff behind the 64 Dodge 330, 426 cubic inches of wedge motor. And there it is, Suloff with a big hole shot coming out. Walters trying to chase him down. I don't know, it doesn't look good here. Suloff with the big advantage now, but the police officer trying to make a race out of it. Watch them as they go up through the lights. It's Suloff with the win, 1274 to 105 miles per hour.
And the winner is an awesome Max Wedge 64 Dodge owned by Paul Suloff. Paul, where are you from?
Akron, Ohio.
Akron, Ohio, the famous Art Arfons home. Tell us about your day. Was it tough?
Well, we were fighting with the hot air pretty much all day long. The Max doesn't like the hot air underneath the hood there. It prefers the aluminum with the intakes on it. But all in all, at the end of the day, we were slipping and sliding through with a transmission fluid boiling out the back and hot air in the carburetors. It did pretty respectable, 1274, 105.
105. Well, that's a great day for you, Paul. Congratulations to you.